Yeah, that was the last message to them right before we left the field. Tomorrow is the closest we can come to a game day. So tonight should be treated like the night before the game. Your mind on your game, go over your tips and reminders. Wake up in the morning, come over here locked in and focused. It won't be a true game, but there'll be some scrimmage situations, and it's the last opportunity for them to go out and show their teammates and their coaches that there's someone that the teammates and coaches can depend on. And I went back to our first meeting that we had, start of spring practice. I told them, I said, when did I say your opportunity was? And they said, now. And that's right. Their opportunity is right now. It's not in fall camp or it's not the week of the first game. It's right now if you want to establish yourself as a guy that we can depend on. Now, can you overcome some things? But if you want to make a good impression, you need to do it in spring ball, and it's our last opportunity to do it tomorrow. Well, Alvis has he's been a constant guy for us. He brought continuity, from the previous staff, and able to keep that continuity with the receiver position. He had a talented receiver in Rashard Higgins, so that helped with him. Alvis is his own coach, and I've said this a million times, is I don't want 9 carbon copies or now 10 carbon copies of me. I want guys that are themselves. I don't want guys that want to try to be like me or try to be like somebody else. They got to be themselves. And Alvis is a perfect example of that. He's himself, and he's genuine. And I think that's why he gets the most out of his players. You never probably hear Alvis yelling and screaming out there at practice. He's going to communicate the way he sees fit. He's genuine. Those guys can trust him. And I've seen him get better as a coach the last 3 years. I believe he was relatively new to coaching when I believe Coach Mack hired him. So he's still, a young football coach. And I've seen a guy grow over the last 3 years as a teacher of the receiver position and understanding offensive football, not just passing game, but run game. So, he's a guy that, wants to grow in this profession and wants to, be able to, be an offensive coordinator one day, be a head coach, and he's one of those guys that's always in there paying attention to everything we're doing as an offensive staff. Yeah, he's done a good job in recruiting, and the main thing is, I feel like a lot of recruiting depends on your area sometimes. How many players you have in your area. Sometimes you can get credited for being a great recruiter, and you've got a good area and you've got something good to recruit to. But it all comes down to, the whole Colorado State staff recruiting too. But Alvis has been good at recruiting because he's genuine. When he sits in there, what people are looking for is somebody they can trust. And that's not just the parents or the loved ones that's sending them off to school. It's also the player. They're looking for somebody, I want to play for this guy. I trust that this guy means what he says. And you can tell that Alvis is very genuine, that he's going to take care of that individual, and he's going to help them be the best they can be on and off the field.
He's giving you he's giving the program a political almost every 2 years. Asking him to maybe speed that process.
Yeah, I said that last night. We had a little booster draft of some people that helped the program before our annual spring game and introduced all the coaches. And that's what I said about Alvis. I said, 2 Biletnikoff finalists, and, we're expecting a 3rd this year.
Obviously, it's about a week till the NFL draft, but what's it like for you as a coach to watch such guys? Obviously, some Georgia guys and last year that you coached. What's it like just watching guys get selected?
Yeah, I'm very excited for our guys. I know how excited they are, when the opportunity comes that they might get their name called on draft day, or they might get their name called to go to a free agent camp. And I believe we have several on our football team from last year that are anxiously awaiting a phone call. And you wish them luck, and you're praying for them that they go to the program that's the best fit for them. Because sometimes, if you're not a high draft pick, it's the best fit. A guy getting into the best fit, into the best culture, the best system for him to be successful. And, I hope our guys, I think a lot of our guys have a chance to make NFL rosters, and sometimes it's, picking that right fit and not necessarily going, to the team that maybe offers the most free agent dollars. I mean, I can think of our center at Georgia, David Andrews, was a free agent, and he chose the Patriots. Now I think he's going on his third year starting. And he picked the right fit. He looked at the line, he looked at who they brought in, and it was the perfect situation for him to have a chance to make a roster. So, if he'd have picked another team, it might not have worked out that way. So it's, he's hoping they find the right fit, and letting them know you're going to be there for them. Their number one goal is to make the NFL team. But hey, if it doesn't work out, you give me a call and I can help you in any way. Some of them want to get in coaching, and some of them, you might help them making a phone call to get their foot in the door on another kind of job.
How much do you hear from NFL teams, especially on a guy like Michael that could go, relatively high in the draft?
You get a lot of phone calls from sometimes position coach when they're doing their initial write-up of the eligible receivers in a draft of what do you think of this guy? And then it gets closer to this date, you get calls from general managers and coaches kind of together to kind of get last little feedback on things. And most of the time, this time of the year when you get a call, it's not about the tape. It's about what kind of kid is he? What kind of teammate was he? What kind of worker was he? What did he love football? Is he a guy that can learn? It's all the other questions that they can't see on tape.
Do you get that up until draft day?
Yeah, the last one I had was 2 days ago on him. I've never over the years. I don't think I've ever had any. The night before the draft. About a week before the draft, you probably stop getting phone calls.